Right, as conditions remain tense in Sri Lanka, Vistara has suspended all flights to the island nation. This is the latest that we are breaking on Mirror Now. This comes in the wake of the protest that turned ugly this morning and afternoon, following which curfew has been imposed across the country. And now the latest is that Vistara has suspended all flights to Sri Lanka. All right, so let's tell our viewers what really happened in Sri Lanka today. So basically, the Sri Lankan police has imposed a nationwide curfew in Sri Lanka after clashes between two rival political camps took place. Remember, earlier on, an emergency was imposed in Sri Lanka, following which there were protests. Two rival groups clashed, and as a result, a nationwide curfew has been imposed. Remember, those visuals were very disturbing that emerged from Sri Lanka. But now the latest is that Vistara has suspended all flights to Sri Lanka. Remember, this is being triggered by months of blackouts and dire shortage of food, fuel and medicines, and an economic crisis, an unprecedented economic crisis that Sri Lanka is witnessing at the moment. There is a political turmoil as well. There's massive anger against the Sri Lankan government, against the Rajapaksa clan that controls the government. And as a result of that, an emergency was declared on Friday, and following which today a nationwide curfew has been imposed in Sri Lanka. All right, news coming in. A big update. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has resigned. So this is the big update that we are getting on Mirror Now. And Prime Minister of Sri Lanka has resigned. And as we were telling you that Sri Lanka is going through an unprecedented economic crisis. There's shortage of food, there's shortage of fuel, there's shortage of very, very important things that we need in one's life, the essentials. Everything has gone up. The inflation is at an all-time high, and the stocks are low in Sri Lanka, and there's massive anger against the Rajapaksa family. And the big development that's coming in is that the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Mahinda Rajapaksa, has resigned. Remember, we had broken on Mirror Now that the President, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, was going to sack his brother, Mahinda Rajapaksa. And now it has been confirmed that Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Mahinda Rajapaksa, has resigned. Priyank joins us for more. Priyank, big development there, but it was on expected lines because the kind of anger that Rajapaksa family was facing from the people of Sri Lanka, and they had to do some damage control. And last time what we broke was that the President of Sri Lanka was going to sack his brother, and now the breaking update has come that Mahinda Rajapaksa has resigned as Prime Minister of Sri Lanka.
Yes, certainly. That's a major development which is coming out, but we have to remember that the power of the government still is there in the hand of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Because in Sri Lanka, the president of the country holds the supreme power. He is the one who has the power to appoint the prime minister. He's the one who has the power to appoint the cabinet. So at this juncture, we'll have to see that what is going to be the final outcome. Because after Mahinda Rajapaksa, lost the election in 2016, he told his brother Gotabaya Rajapaksa to come back from the United States, and later to that he gave the power in the hand of Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who's the cousin brother of Mahinda Rajapaksa. But later to that, Mahinda Rajapaksa has been in the eye of all the storm because of the financial crisis, all the wrong measures that the government took over the period of time, and in fact, lending huge piece of land in the hand of Sri Lanka, in the hand of Chinese government. And all these policies were the ones because of which the government has to, go through this kind of situation, and the country faced this kind of financial turmoil. But certainly after 1.5 months of continuous protests, which happened across the country, and the international fraternity also came up to help the government. Now, the breaking input which we are getting is that Mahinda Rajapaksa has put in his papers.
All right. Thank you, Priyank, for these updates. And in the wake of these dramatic developments unfolding in Sri Lanka, the latest is that Vistara has suspended all flights to Sri Lanka. Remember, there is an intense turmoil that's going on in Sri Lanka, which is both economic and political. And today, in the wake of those clashes that broke out, a nationwide curfew has been imposed in the island nation. And the latest is that Vistara has suspended all flights to Sri Lanka. All right, for more on this, my colleague Hina joins us for more. Hina, what we have been reporting since afternoon that the clashes were very intense and around 20 people got injured. A nationwide curfew is in place in Sri Lanka. And now the latest is that Vistara has suspended all flights to the island nation.
Well, that's right. It's a very, very important development that has taken place today. Vistara, which is an Indian airline, has decided to suspend all flights to Sri Lanka, given the current situation that Sri Lanka is in right now. Today, of course, we have got dramatic visuals from parts of Sri Lanka. Curfew has been imposed in the entire country. People are out on the streets because they are demanding the resignation of both the brothers, both the Rajapaksa brothers, the president, as well as the Prime Minister. A couple of weeks ago, you will remember how the crisis really started. People were continuously demanding the resignation, but then the president one day came out and decided that the Prime Minister is going to resign, and now this big decision has been taken by Indian carrier Vistara. We'll have to see whether other airlines will also follow Vistara and also suspend airline operations to Sri Lanka till the time the crisis is continuing there.
Right. Thank you, Hina, for these updates. And with that, it's a wrap. Stay tuned to Mirror now for more news and updates.